has some sadness to it, it also has some joy and happiness, and I think that's what we want to convey today. And so, the first question Maggie keeps saying is, why are we planting a tree? And especially, why are we planting a tree in front of our house? Well, I don't know if I told you, I told some of the people the story that in the hospital, as we were many times, Danny and I, and all of us, but at this particular time, I was just with Danny, and it was in the summer of 2007, and Danny said, he used to call me Poppy, Poppy, you want to be cremated, right? And I said, yeah, Danny, and I want my ashes spread on both coasts, because I grew up on the East Coast, and I used to go to the beach on the East Coast, and I somewhat of a frequent beachgoer on the West Coast. At least I could see it from Hilltop. But anyway, and so I said, Danny, you're the youngest, so I expect you to take care of me. He said, okay, Poppy, I'll do that. And then he said, you know, I want to be cremated too, and my ashes spread at sea. And then he said, but you know, I want also a place with something living, so that people will remember me. Not an altar or anything like that, but something living. Because I really want people to remember me. So this is planting something living to remember Danny. Not that I think we'll ever forget him, but we always need to remember. And we're planting it here at our house because it won't last forever, but for now it was Danny's home, and it is Danny's home, and it's your home too. So we hope it's a place that you'll come and visit when we're here, or if you're passing by, just remember that this is a symbol of Danny that's here. And the other thing is the trees are a symbol of ongoing life. And Danny's life is ongoing. It's ongoing in me, Alicia, Maggie, in our family and friends. And Maggie will touch more on that. And as I was preparing for this, I found two things on Danny's computer that I think we are going to share in this. One is his poem, his song called Silent Cry, that he wrote after the tsunami, which was 4 years ago, on December 26th. But it was also just 4 years ago, just around this time, December 28th, that we got the prognosis, the pathology report of Danny. So I don't know all about that song, but in the song, which you'll hear, you're going to hear Danny's characteristic of Danny, his struggle, but also his hope and his sense of spirit and his sense of concern for others.
Isn't it about the tsunami?
I just said it's about the tsunami. Anyway, but the other thing on Danny's computer, and we're discovering more and more about Danny on his computer, I discovered one line, which I think is my wish, and it says, "It will be a while before you notice all of me." They're Danny's words. So even though Danny's gone, I think we're still going to find out some things about Danny. And I hope that you find out how much he loves all of you. And so, Maggie, why don't you share now a little bit about that?
So, Danny was really fortunate to spring from two hardy family trees. And we know that there's some longevity. Unfortunately, his little branch didn't continue to blossom beyond to another generation. But he was also fortunate to have been nurtured by many of you, and all of you whom he considered to be his family. So it's not just the exact bloodline that counts, and I think that's kind of the idea of a tree. And like the ginkgo biloba, life goes on with roots that continue to burrow deeper, branches that grow and sometimes die, and many unique leaves. And a unique thing about this tree that I heard after we bought it was that all of a sudden there's one day and all the leaves fall off. And so this little tree, this particular one, has been in a hothouse in our garage through the rain and the winds in the last few days, and we would have lost all the leaves. But look at just bringing it out, how many fell off. So it's part of life that we lose some of our most precious leaves. And this tree has a lot of symbolism and interesting things, and so we've given a little line to a couple people that are important to us and to Danny. And so first his godmother, Tony, has a little something she's going to share about the ginkgo biloba tree.
This ancient tree is the only survivor of a family that was thought to be extinct. It survived in Eastern Asia, though it was always very rare. The ginkgo tree is considered sacred and is often planted near Taoist or Buddhist temples.
And now it's godfather.
Members of this tree were the only living things to survive the atom bomb in Hiroshima. All 4 of these trees are still thriving today. Ever since, the ginkgo has been regarded as the bearer of hope.
In traditional Chinese medicine, ginkgo seeds are used raw to treat cancer. In the West, ginkgo is now a popular remedy for improving circulation associated with poor memory and concentration, in some types of migraines and also in Alzheimer's disease.
This tree takes 3 human generations to mature. Thus, it has become known as the grandfather-grandchild tree. Some of these magnificent trees are estimated to be well over 1,000 years old.
I'd like to now we're going to do the actual planting of the tree, so I'm going to invite Jacob to help me, but I also have to have my neighbor Steve sort of oversee it. He's our tree expert. So Steve,
And he's seen these trees in Japan primarily, and real old ones with, how big was the one you told me about today?
I think the biggest one, maybe 8 feet in diameter, and it was well over 1,000 years old in front of a Buddhist temple.
And it had all the little prayer.
Prayer slips were attached to the trunk of the tree, and everything that you all said, I really think it's true.
So, and he was the one who helped us choose the tree. So come on up, Steve.
So, and while we're planting the tree, we're going to listen to Danny's song. And again, this is a song that was, it was written after the tsunami, and I think after Danny's pathology report. It's a song I just found recently on Danny's computer, so many of you haven't heard it yet. I think it shows Danny's music, his singing, but also his sense of light and hope and spirit.
And all the next generation, you guys all come up and look at how they plant the tree. Right here, we want to just have them watch. Right here, stand right here and you can see. Look at the dirt. Okay, here they go. Anybody else? Is Nico? Nico, come on up. Come watch him.
Watch yourself, Brian.
Anybody else? Yeah. Watch out with the stick. Okay. Right out there so you can see.
How much?
Put that whole bag in there, but
I can't believe my eyes. I can't believe my ears. The ground has shook. The waves have crashed. Others innocent lives don't deserve the grief. They cover their eyes and trust in their belief. The moment is frozen by the silent cry, an audible scream. Tell me why. How does one survive such pain, such pain? How do others live with such shame, such shame? How does one dream if there's no hope? How does one sing as they choke?
Today's the day all the leaves fall.
A great wise man, let your charm burn into the twilight. Watch as the smoke rolls out with the tide and hovers above the sea. The spirits will rise up from the red sand and take you, old man, by the hand, guide you through this tragedy. How does one survive such pain, such pain? How do others live with such shame, such shame? How does one dream if there's no hope? How does one sing as
this rock has a saying on it that was by Jesse. And Jesse, would you come up and read it for us? She put this, gave it to us, and inscribed it in a book about trees that she gave her and Arturo after Danny died.
As we see the beauty in trees, we will think of their desire for light, their gift of life, and Danny's love.
And as you know, Danny's mantra was light, life, and love. And that's what we hope will always continue. And to conclude our little gathering here before we have the real, not the real, but a more familial celebration inside and out, I'd like to, if we can have the last poem you have there is a poem Danny wrote about trees. And we're going to try and listen to it, hopefully. Again, this is something I found.
Giving my heart, shouting your name, tripping on roots as I walk through your forest. I come to your tree with leaves of gold and bark of diamond. It is all alone. Through the leaves the sun shines, blinding my fixed eyes. The light is so pure it makes me cry. I turn back and stumble home. When I'm back I can only think of that tree in the forest. If only I could have found its shade. That night I went back, crept through the woods like a nimble cat, until I reached the same gold tree. I touched the bark, but it felt cold to me. Reflecting off the leaves, the moon did shine, brighter than ever, burning my eyes. I took a step back, regained my sense, stood mesmerized by the gold light, lost my will to fight. That night I dreamt of sitting beneath the tree and catching its leaves as they fell down to me. And when I woke, I was there in the shade. The light did shine, but the shade did impair its harm.
So this is our gold tree, and I think we have honored Danny's wish to have something living, and now it's up to you to continue that part of always remembering Danny in your heart. Thank you. And let's go inside and enjoy ourselves. Thanks.